I did want to say, disclaimer, I am not sponsored by any of these products. They are purely products that I use myself, and they may be helpful for you, they may not. So make sure that you do your research before you decide to buy any subscription. A lot of them do have a trial phase, which is great. Use it to see if you like it. You don't have to pay any money because it can be expensive. But yeah, I just wanted to say I'm not being sponsored. All of this is of my own accord, just to kind of show you what I do. Hey friends, how is it going? I am going to do a little bit of a vlog on how I study for my exams. This one is a little bit different because A, I have COVID, so I'm still not feeling 100%. My motivation has been like down here. But another thing that's also different is I am trying to transition more into step studying, like the modes of step studying, so focusing more on practice questions because they're starting to become more vignette in style. So for those of you who don't know what a vignette is, it's kind of like they are presenting a case to you and they're providing, lab results, exam results, genetic results. So that's what a lot of step questions are going to be like. Obviously that's how medicine is. It's not, asking you, what is for example, what gene is defective in ataxia telangiectasia. So, that doesn't really matter unless someone actually has it, and a part of medicine is doing the puzzle pieces to try and figure out what they have and how you treat it. So, it's okay, bud. So that's what we're gonna work on today. Everything else is pretty much the same how I'm studying. I'm not going to be using my whiteboard as much because what I would usually do, and I'll throw up some pictures, but what I would usually do is I would write down all of the disorders, any metabolic pathways that I needed to know. I would write all of that down on my whiteboard, which was pretty helpful in me visualizing and spatially recognizing information and facts whenever I got to a question on the exam. But all of that is all in my notes anyway. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you what I do. But all of my notes are pretty much like that anyway, and so I am just going to try and utilize my time in a more effective manner by only writing on the whiteboard for a concept that I just don't understand. I think now we're getting to the point where, the information that I know. Like, yes, sometimes we'll go back and hit on it, but Anki already does that for me. And for the topics that I don't understand, I should probably be hitting those more because, why waste time on things that you already know? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, and we'll see how this works. This is kind of a little bit of a guinea pig in action, but I think this will help streamline more of my studying. And yeah, so I will go ahead and I'll show you specifically like what my notes look like. So I use OneNote. People can use a whole lot of different note-taking things throughout the block. As you can see here, I have all of my weeks separated. So this was our longest block 6, neurology and psych, and it was 9 weeks. So I have everything split up by weeks. As you can see, these are all of my other previous blocks. I'm very visual when it comes to learning, and I really enjoy note-taking. And so, for example, I will watch all of my Boards and Beyond videos, and I will literally, so this is it's kind of crazy, all the work that I go throughout a block. So it's kind of cool to see all of everything written down. Oh, there it is. So yeah, as you can see, I enjoy writing things down. I use my iPad right here, and then it syncs the OneNote here. So I pretty much copy exactly what is on boards, and then I use these notes to look back at when I do my exam studying or like throughout that week when I'm studying. So there's neuroembryology. Here's the video on neurotransmitters and nerve damage. So as you can see, I've got some like photos here directly from. So it's really cool to find a program that you like, that you're able to sync with. Everyone has a different study style, so once you recognize what your study style is, you can really capitalize on that. I also put all of our anatomy lectures on here, so I've just got so much stuff on OneNote, so sometimes it takes a little bit to load, but I don't have this issue whenever, throughout the week when I am studying. But yeah, once this loads, I put I insert PowerPoints into OneNote, and it's really effective. I really like it. So yeah, here it is popped up. So like skull, meninges, and I think it's dural sinuses. So as you can see, like I just use all of those I use OneNote pretty much for everything. And so throughout this week of studying, I go back through every single week. I try and review all of my notes. And that's why I'm not writing it on the whiteboard, because I've already got it visually spaced on my OneNote. So I might just be wasting time trying to do it on the whiteboard. But that's just me. People might have a different opinion on it, and do whatever works for you, because what works for one person might not for the next, and that's okay. That's totally okay. So yeah, I go through all of those notes. I try and review every single one. I go through all of my school's materials just to make sure that I've hit everything that boards or any other resource that I'm using hasn't used, and that's just kind of what I do. And so right now I'm changing up my studying style by adding questions. So I'm using a couple of different resources to look at questions. I am using Boards and Beyond, USMLE RX, a little bit of Amboss, and that's all that I'm doing right now. Is I'm going through each of the weeks, looking at all of my notes, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do as many questions as I can. Once I feel like I'm starting to burn out and I'm not really paying attention, then I'll stop. But and then also I'm trying to keep up on my Anki cards, because that's really good for spaced repetition and trying to put things into your long-term memory. So yeah, that's basically what I do when I study for an exam. And like I said, everyone's study techniques are different. I love to be at home when I'm studying. Now, obviously right now I have COVID, so I can't go to school and study, but a lot of people go to the school, they can't study at home. That's just like an environment that they get distracted in. But for my thing, I get super distracted at school. And it is nice though, because you can ask questions for any of your classmates that are there, and it's definitely nice to have that social aspect, because sometimes these studying days can get really long. Now, it really sucks for me with COVID right now. I haven't really been able to study. My motivation's been down. I just don't feel good. So I've only been getting about 4 hours a day studying. Now, for some people that might sound like a lot, but usually my exam studying days last for around 8 hours on average. But also just with the fact that my hours of studying don't look as long, I really did like this block. I thought neuro was really interesting. It is really hard to get because there's so much dang information. Obviously, we're 9 weeks. This is the longest block that we have. And I really did like psych. I don't want to say it comes naturally to me, because I have to work really hard to understand a topic, and especially to get it into my long-term memory. But it is pretty crazy the things that a human mind can memorize, but also the things that you feel like it can't. So, oh man, it's just the journey of med school. Med school is hard, but the human body is fascinating, and I don't know how crazy that you can become a doctor and learn all of this stuff really fast, but it also just proves to show you how much experience comes into it. So I'm gonna try and show a little bit of the questions that are kind of posed and a little bit of the resources. I'll put down all of the links that I use, or all of the resources that I use while I exam study. Now, for those of you who don't know, a lot of these come with subscriptions, and so they do cost money. But honestly, I learn a lot more through these online resources than I do at school and with my school's resources. Not to say that your school isn't important and can't teach you this information, but it's just amazing how medical school education has changed once the internet came about. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I'm paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to a medical school and paying, hundreds of dollars for these subscriptions, but that's what I'm using more in my study time than me using the schools. But the thing is, what the internet can't provide you is the support of your faculty and your mentors, and that's really how you're going to survive in medical school, is having people who understand what you're going through and can relate to you on a personal level and an emotional level, because you just can't get that firsthand connection online. I think that's really important for your survival in med school. It's important for your emotional health, your mental health, and something to consider. Yes, you could probably do your whole medical school education online. You could be online the whole time for 2 years, but that does not replace the support that your faculty and mentors provide you. Does not replace it. We'll say that. I am happy to pay that money. It's a lot of money. Often wonder how I'm gonna pay it off. I mean, yes, I'm gonna be a doctor, but that's a lot of freaking money, which is a whole other topic. But anyway, I won't get into that. Yeah, that's what's happening, and we're gonna get back to exam studying for neurology and psychology. And also, I will say another source that I use a lot for Farm is Sketchy Farm. I also have Sketchy Micro as well, but Sketchy Farm is awesome. For those of you who don't know what Sketchy is, it is very visual based and very picture based. For example, there's a Sketchy video, Parkinson drugs, I'll say. So it has like a picture of like a little story that's happening, and each thing that happens in this picture denotes the characteristics of this drug, what this drug does, what it attaches to, what it inhibits, etc., etc. And so for my mind, it's great because I love to visually learn things. But for some people hate it. They can't learn with it, but they use other things. So that's the take-home point over all of this. Like, this is how I study, yes, but everyone does things different. They study by what works best for them. So another way that I am trying to maximize my studying, I created a different page that goes over specifically information that I might have forgotten or that I need to hit. So I am constantly trying to go back to this page just to like review it, try and do independent recall, and looking at cocaine. What does cocaine overdose do? Like what are the receptors that it blocks? So it inhibits norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. Am I right? Yeah, I am. Okay. I didn't look at that, by the way. So that's kind of what I do, just looking through things that I've forgotten and just putting it on this doc, putting in some other anatomy stuff that I may have forgotten. And yeah, that's another good tool I like. Good morning. It is exam day. I'm not actually this excited inside, but I am happy because I'm feeling a lot better since the beginning of the week. I think I'm finally starting to kick this virus, which is awesome. I am past my isolation as I had been for several days now, so I'm going to the school to take the test. I think I'm gonna test better there than I have at my house. I'm letting the dogs out. I'm gonna make myself some coffee, and then I'm gonna head to the school and gonna kind of show a little bit what that setup looks like. My watch is charging, but it's just a little bit after 9. The test starts at 10, so I'm gonna try and get out of the house here in about 15 minutes, so that'll give me enough time. The school's only like a mile away, which is really great. I'm just gonna get ready, pack up all my stuff, take the longest exam of my, besides STEP, but taking the longest school exam that I have in medical school. So I've never had this happen to my car. This is a newer car, got it in the summer, and I'm having issues. Oh, I'm a idiot. Oh my god. Okay, don't tell them. I had it in low gear and I was like super confused because, friends, it wasn't shifting. And now I know why, because I'm an idiot. That's why. Balls. This is a really exciting moment for me because I haven't been out of the house in a public building in like 3 weeks. So this is kind of exciting. And she's not locking. Where did she lock? There she goes. Her name is Squeak, by the way. If you can guess why, I don't know. I'll give you like a chocolate bar or something, your favorite kind. I'm excited because I will actually get to see some of my friends, and that's what happens whenever you're stuck in the house for 2 weeks. So let's go. Because we're COVID, we had to get assigned a study room so that they could like sanitize it, and so I'm on my way there right now. It's an absolute ghost town right now. Oh my gosh, lights aren't even on completely. Crazy. Oh, you're kidding. Come on, turn your lights on, pal. There we go. Here we are, folks. So when I walked in, it was kind of funny. Well, because of course they ask you the question like, you know, do you have symptoms? Did you have any contact? Yes to both. Except, okay, so my only symptoms, I would say, like, I still have mild congestion. Nothing bad. I don't have a fever. My temperature was fine. They check your temperature, but I was just like, crap. But anyway, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I was safe. I'm not gonna make some stupid mistake. I'm definitely gonna wipe down and sanitize everything when I'm done. Door handle, everything. I think they do that anyway because they know like what study rooms we're in. Man, the timing of everything has just been a little gross, but we're doing good, fam. We are trying. Oh gosh, is it even worth it? Probably not. I'm gonna look at some stuff through first aid just to peruse through it really fast. I am gonna throw this to the side. I have to have my ID because the way that they proctor it is we have to have Zoom on in the background, and so someone just like watches us the whole time. We don't have to have audio on, so I can cry and they won't even know. But I mean, this is the mood today. This is anxiety inducing, which usually I would say like I do okay anxiety wise. I mean, now like I have anxiety, like I take medication and it's controlled for the most part. You know, just like normal test anxiety. This is like the most stressed out I've ever been for a test, but I think it's purely because of how much information we need to know. So a little freaked out, but we'll be okay. So I just finished the exam. I'm trying to be quiet because there are a couple people in other rooms beside me probably still taking the test. And thank God I think I passed. Our exams are pass-fail, and usually the pass rate is like 65% or so, and I definitely, let me see what my percentage was. So I got 87 correct out of 112 questions. That is a 78, which if you've never been to med school, a 78 is pretty good. It's not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna pack up my stuff and go home and try and celebrate a little bit now that that's over. Usually we have like a big party that someone hosts at their house. However, with COVID, there's not gonna be a party tonight, so maybe I'll just do some stuff at home with me and the boys because Eddie is back at work. So yes, I passed. I was terrified because I did not do well on the last exam. I might make another vlog just kind of like talking about mental health in med school, especially with COVID and Black Lives Matter and all of that stuff. I had so much stuff going on this summer and Block 5, and so I just needed something that reminded me that I'm gonna survive med school, and this helped a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna pack up and get out of here, and it's a huge relief when you are finished with these exams. It's crazy. Anyway, if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to subscribe. You gotta click the subscribe button right there, okay? Go ahead and subscribe so you are up to date on all of the things that I post and other videos and vlogs. I'm super excited because I've got some skit ideas that I'm going to try and do soon, and things are just rolling, and today is a good day. So have a good one too.